It's 8 o'clock on a Sunday. Regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man, he's sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. He said, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we were all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Now John at the bar, he's a friend of mine. He gets me my drinks for free, and he's quick with a joke, like he'll light up your smoke. But there's some place that he'd rather be. He said, John, I believe this is killing me, as the smile ran away from his face. Well, I know I could be a big movie star if I could get out of this place. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we were all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Come on. Now Paul, he's a real estate novelist who never had time for a wife. But he's talking with Davy, who's still in the Navy and probably will be for life. And the waitress is practicing politics as the businessman slowly gets stoned. Well, they're sharing a drink they call loneliness, but it's better than drinking alone. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. That's a pretty good crowd for Sunday. What is it?
It is. It's a great crowd. Fabulous.
And the manager, well.
Hey!
Hey! The manager! She's changed her glasses, her hair, her t-shirt. No, she hasn't changed her t-shirt. It's the same t-shirt she always wears, ladies and gentlemen. Can I give you, all the way from Barrow-in-Furness, it's Rachel! She's been here for the weekend, wiring.
And whining.
And whining. And eating only ketchup, right?
And chocolate.
And chocolate, right? And rubbish, basically. Apart from the stuff that Sue's fed. She has been tireless, sorting out this room, sorting out sounds and wires, and generally having a good time. And having a little drive in my car today, terrified, and that was good. No travel sickness. No, it was quite good. We didn't do any bends. We went everywhere straight. Straight back up the M6 it was for a bit, and then... but we've had a great time. And we have, in our room tonight, we have, let's see them, Matthew Vera.
Will. Yay.
And related to him very closely, by blood, Nicholas Vera. And not forgetting the former manager herself.
Former manager, excuse me, have I been demoted?
Rachel's here. Right, can't have too many managers. Too many. That's the trouble, you see.
Can I be the
British
senior
industry.
manager?
No, can I stop here?
I want to be the senior manager.
Oh, senior. Why is she junior?
I'm the oldest, that's why.
Right, you're the old woman.
Yeah.
Let's call. Why don't you just say
the old woman?
The manager and the old woman. All right. How about that? There we go. Job done. So the old woman over there sitting by the piano tonight, and the boys have come in because today. I just thought, you know what, I'm not going to be able to have people in the room for some time because I'm going to be, well, we hope, June the 9th. Dun, 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 dun,
Kidney.
They're going to cut me into beats, remove one from Sue, give me 3, which I'll immediately put on at least 15 pounds in weight through the kidney. Yeah. And we hope June the 9th will be the day. We'll tell you more and on. But very exciting for those of you who've been praying, for those of you who've been giving us positive thoughts all across. I know that Lucas de Jong, he rung me the other day and I could not take the phone call and I haven't got back to you. We've been just up to our necks with info and trying to get things done before we have to shield, apparently. Yes, Susan?
My new title is Executive Manager.
Says who?
Says the community.
The community.
Yes.
Yeah.
Executive
Can I ask
manager.
you just what that you don't give me any title, you get me nothing.
You're the artiste.
Yeah.
You're the star of the show.
See, I love you, Rachel. That's why I love you. Okay, it's Matt, get back here. You got the guitar. You ready?
Doing another guitar song?
Yeah.
Piano man,
And the
Still the same song.
and what's the line?
Manager.
And the manager gives me a smile. That was the chord I was waiting for. 'Cause she knows that it's me. They've been coming to see. We've got a busy show tonight, we've got to get on with it. I can't have you fighting. To forget about life for a while. Oh, and the piano, it sounds like a carnival. And the microphone, it smells like a beer. And they sit at the bar and put bread in my jar. They say, man, what are you doing here? La la la, la la la. La la la, la la la, la la la. And the company, come on now. Sing us the song, you're the piano man. Sing us the song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Begin. It's nice to have you both in the room.
It's nice to be here.
What did I interrupt you doing, both of you?
Matt?
I was having a nice dinner. I was. And then suddenly have to come here.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about
It's
that.
fine.
And how did Poppy understand?
Well, hopefully she's asleep. But Julie will probably write that on the comments in a second. Is she asleep? If you could let me know, that'd be great.
Right. Yeah, go on if she can. So, right down there. And Nick, tell us the glories of what you've been up to in the last.
No, for the safety of this live stream, I'm not going to.
But
I've been. No, I don't want to say it.
You have. Go on.
I'm being good.
You've been on the Great White Telephone. Okay.
Oh,
What's that?
No, he hasn't.
He's had an upset time.
The pot.
The Great White Telephone.
Telephone, yeah. That's right.
Is that a phrase-
Usually
is that a
it's
phrase
shouting
from the,
Huey at the pavement.
Phrase from the 20s.
That one. Yeah.
The
Okay, that's
18,
that one.
18,
Exactly.
more like.
Pavement
Wade.
pizza, generally. Anyway, right. So you've been, and we're grateful for you coming in. Guys, what we'll do...
I'm going home now.
Well,
Night,
we'll call
Poppy.
you in
Night.
a minute,
We'll see you
okay?
later.
Speak
Do a
to you
few
in a
other
minute.
songs, and we're going to have you in right
down
the way
there,
through
Rachel.
the evening. So they're going to be
Do you
next
need a winch
door.
to winch you up? Well done. Poor Rachel.
So they're going to be next door, chitter-chattering, and I'm going to be shouting at them to come back in at some points. Welcome to the show tonight, and it's only 13 minutes in. I would say that's not any record, but we've got a busy show. We've got Mick and Lynette coming in from Brooke. Is it Brooke or Brooks? I don't know. I never known.
Brooks, I think.
Brooks, yeah, Brooks, who
We
he
don't
was
know.
formerly
Don't use their surname very
CEO of
CWR.
CWR and ran the counselling course there, a beautifully accredited course there, and just as coincidence would have it and serendipity would have it, we have Lizzie from the
Oh, dear. You're right.
I'm running out of words. A charity, that was the word.
Word.
The charity called.
I don't know what the charity's called.
What do you mean you don't know what the charity's called? I'm relying on you for this. Don't
Yes,
just stand there and go,
Lizzie.
I don't know what.
Runs a charity in East Grinstead, and you'll find out all about it when Jonathan interviews her.
Perfect. And we're going to do that. Now, before we do that, just a few songs I'm going to do.
Just a
and this
few.
one, yeah, just a few. This was requested, wasn't it?
Yes, Ali Anderson suggested this one. And actually, it was just as well because it was already on the list, Ali, but thank you anyway.
Falling leaves drift by my window. The falling leaves are red and gold. I see your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburnt hand. I used to hold. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter song. But I miss you most of all, my darling. You when autumn leaves start to fall. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter song. But I miss you most of all, my darling, you. When autumn leaves start to fall, but I miss you when autumn leaves start to fall.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That was beautifully sung, beautifully played, and actually, as someone has said, highly appropriate for this weather. Because that's how it feels.
It does actually. It's kind of
does.
weird, isn't it?
But
All right, another one, which is a killer song.
all right.
And
I think the poll is in. I've been voted the CEO of Jonathan Vera. Jerry Cowie suggested She Who Must Be Obeyed, and I said that would be a fictitious and honorary title only.
darling, let me just establish. I do nothing that I'm told.
I just said that. It would be a fictitious
But
name.
then, I'm presuming the camera's not working.
Yes.
Rachel,
No,
if
Rachel's
you
just
could
enjoying
see,
crawling around the floor.
Rachel
Can
is
I just say
trying to
that
crawl-
I am delighted that Rachel is here, because normally it's me that's crawling around the floor and trying to sort
trying
things
to
out.
sort things out in
And
between
it's
times.
Rachel tonight, so I can sit and just enjoy
All right,
chatting.
so let us do this song, Bring Him Home, because I can still sing it now. Let's try it. Shall we do the...
This is the main family. Alan and Jeanette have asked for this one because Daniel's been away for too long and they're hoping to bring him home. And Richard Sadler, your wife Norma asked for this because you've been a super husband,
All right.
looking after her while she's been in a plaster
And I
cast.
will do that once I'm out of hospital.
Yes.
I'll look after you, obviously, because I won't have much.
No. Well, we'll
Just
both
a
be
cut
injured, won't we?
from here
Yes, that's
to
right.
there. And somebody actually wrote to me, and it might be what David Clift said. Once you've had it, you'll never be able to laugh again. He said you won't be. Apparently, it's very painful
It might
to laugh.
pop out. Okay.
So he said, I'll just anyway.
Okay.
Right, Bring Him Home. From the album Lockdown Sessions 1. If you haven't got it, get it. haven't got it for a friend, give it to somebody else. Here we go. God on the heart, hear my prayer, hear my need. You have always been there. He's young, he's afraid. Let him rest. Heaven blessed. Bring him home. Bring him home. Bring him home. He's like the son I might have known if God had planted me a son. The summers die one by one, how soon they fly. On and I am old and will be gone. Bring him peace, bring him joy. He is young, he is only a boy. You can take, you can give. Let him be. Let him be. If I die, let me die. Let him live. Bring him home. Bring him home. Bring him home.
Wow, that was very special, and people enjoyed that very, very much.
My boys, could you come back in, please?
Oh,
There we go. Now, it will be...
I don't think they were expecting that.
No, I know they weren't. Matt's just on the toilet. So...
That's the second time that's happened.
That is the second time it's happened. That's the... What happened? Was it on the same... Yeah. Oh, it was on the gig. Go on then. You
We're
tell
on a
it.
gig.
Yeah, go on then. Tell the
It was
story.
JV and the boys, and Dad was having trouble singing the last song because my voice gets tired. And Matt was on the toilet. No. We're talking about the gig. And the guy on the announcement called backstage and asked for Matt because Dad was like, Matt, can you come out here and help me finish the song? And so me and Dan, the other son,
the one who's not here, the one who's in
who
Bath.
didn't make the effort,
Yeah.
who is we ran over to Matt, who was sitting on the toilet, and we're like, Matt, we need. And he was like, no, it's not true. And I was like, no, they've asked you to come out. It's like, no, it's not true.
Cried wolf. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah.
That is true.
And then I came out, and then, like, the stage manager ran up to me and was like, "Where have you been?" I was like, funny. And then Dad came up to me and was like, "Where were you? I have no voice."
Matt still didn't believe it.
And I was like, "Don't believe any of you."
And you had to come and sing for me because I literally hadn't got any voice left. There was something I was wrong. Anyway, this is for Dadash. Do you want to say happy birthday, Dadash?
Happy birthday, Dadash.
To Dadash. Happy birthday to Dadash. Happy birthday, dear Dadash. Happy birthday to you. I believe he's 89 today. I mean, on Friday. So we thought we'd better do this before we forgot. Right, G. Let's do this song. His favourite song. We always do it for him if he's in the room.
Happy birthday. Because we've already done it.
You place gold on my finger. You brought love like I've never known. You gave life to our children and to me a reason to go on. You're my bread when I'm hungry. You're my shelter from the troubled wind. You're my anchor, nice, in life's ocean. But most of all, you're my best friend when I need hope and inspiration. You're always strong when I'm tired and weak. Oh, I could search this whole world over, you'd still be everything that I need. You're my bread when I'm hungry. You're my shelter from the troubled wind. You're my anchor in life's ocean. But most of all, you're my best friend. All I'm accompanied. You're my bread when I'm hungry. You're my shelter from the troubled wind. You're my anchor in life's ocean. But most of all, you're my best friend. Thank you very much. for my father who's 89 on Friday. And thank you,
Happy
boys. You
birthday,
can go back in
father-in-law.
and Nick, it'll be your turn to go to the toilet and I'll call you.
See you in a bit.
Been doing that a week. Those of you who didn't know, he had salmonella poisoning. So he's come in under sufferance, but I think it's the first thing he's done. So anyway, let me put my glasses on so that I can see the lovely guest. Are we ready to do Zoom now?
Sure.
It's 8:32, and tell me when we're ready, and then we'll go for it. Because now this week, we've decided to concentrate on, well, talk about Mental Health Week, because we've been through probably one of the worst health crises that been in living memory, that's affected the whole world, and it's affected different people in different ways. And so I felt actually that this week, what we would talk about, and it may be that you want to get help after the program and everything else. We'll provide numbers for you to call, and we just want you to be aware of the fact that people have been going through it, and you probably have been going through it, and you've been locked down, and you've been really finding life tough. There's an organisation in East Grinstead, and I'm going to have a lady come on right now, and her name is Lizzie. And Lizzie, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. Lovely to have you. Lovely to have you. And I'm just really thrilled to have you and the next guest at 9 o'clock, who you worked for, apparently. You worked for Mick. And so for CWR. So it's a lovely little link that I didn't know about. Sue says she told me, but clearly I've forgotten. So Lizzie, tell us a little bit about the organisation that you helped to run in East Grinstead. It's a very local organisation, but tell us a little bit about it and what it's for.
Yes, so I helped run and set up a counselling service called Arise Counselling Service, and we started, I think we launched in January 2019, very modestly with 2 counsellors and myself running it, and we have since grown within a couple of years to about 15 counsellors, a team of 15, and we serve a sort of geographical area of about 20 miles radius.
In Sussex, I presume that is.
Yeah, Sussex, Kent and Surrey, we sort of cover. We're a bit of a black hole in our little area because we are on the borders of so many counties. Yes.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about why what's your background and why did you set it up?
I had been a counsellor for about 8 to 9 years and had been working with under Mick and Lynn at CWR teaching counselling. And it was a very average Sunday morning, one day, and I think it's 2017, when someone did something very unaverage in our church, which was to come to the front and give a prophecy and say that she felt God wanted our church to become a field hospital and we needed to get ready. And there was a lot of broken people that he needed a place to bring them. And a field hospital required people of all different backgrounds, entertainers, Jonathan, to just keep people in good spirits, just friendly people, as well as all the nurses and the doctors.
Yeah.
And I immediately felt very clearly and very strongly that one of the things one of the things I needed to do was to start a counselling service. It took obviously about 18 months to get us set up and ready, but we wanted a service where anybody could come for therapy, for talking therapy, and it to be available to affordable to anybody, whatever they could pay. And that's sort of what we've done. And we currently serve about 3 different mental health services. Generally, most of the local churches will refer people to us, GP surgeries, and anybody who finds us online or has a friend or family member who knows about us sort of bravely picks up the phone or drops us an email. So it's quite a sort of wide.
That's a wide. So you're really capturing quite a broad spectrum of people. I'm interested about what interests me, because this group, JV Community, is a group of it's an evening, being a whole year of people with faith and no faith. Do they have to be Christian people to come for counselling with you?
No, not at all. We have some who are Christians, and they appreciate the fact that the counsellors themselves are Christians, and then an awful lot who have no faith or have a different faith. So,
and it's not, and it does it. Let me be blunt. Does it try to proselytize? Does it preach as it's doing its counselling? What is the general way that you counsel?
That the ethos is to provide a safe and private space where one can talk about anything without any sort of judgment. And so some people find it important to talk about their faith, whatever their faith is, which is fine. But many don't. And I expect some don't know there's any faith context at all to our service.
It's fantastic. It's just a beautiful thing that you're offering, actually. I love the idea of the hospital. I always feel that, you know, Christians, we what does it say? There was a minister that we used to have. People used to say that Christians, you know, need a crutch. Well, a cripple needs a crutch, and often we do need help. We need help. So many of us need help. What's really difficult, I speak as one who's had counselling twice now, and it was one of the, it saved me. And, you know, Sue thinks I should be in permanent counselling, preferably away from her. And, but actually, I needed to be convinced and needed to get to that point where I understood that. Do you find that with people?
Yes. I mean, some people come and they are so ready to talk and they're so ready for change, and they tend to be the ones who will change and for counselling to work most quickly. And then others probably do need convincing, and they might dip in and out for quite a few times before they actually reach that point when they really want to tackle whatever the issues are. So yeah.
Can I just ask you, because we're always limited by time here, Lizzie, but first of all, I wanted to say that when I first saw you, that you reminded me of Brian May from Queen, and I expect you to pick up a guitar and just start playing a solo. I am so jealous. But secondly, seriously, what do people do? We're going to give information, but what do people do to because people don't know often the first step towards counselling? What is it? Is it a very difficult step they have to take?
Not at all, no. I mean, there are hundreds of counselling services all around the country. So to put your local town in and a counselling service, just Google that, will generally bring up something. And then there are lots of different counselling directories. So you've got something called the Counselling Directory, and that lists hundreds, thousands of different counsellors. And then you have specifically Christian directory called the Association of Christian Counsellors, and you'll be able to find counsellors there, hopefully local to you. And obviously most of us work online now since the last year, so you can pick whoever you like from wherever you are in the country. But it's not a difficult move. It is a brave move sometimes. It's, you know, it's quite an emotional thing to make that email or make that first phone call. So
it is indeed. But particularly there's going to be a split focus tonight, but we'll be giving 25% of what we are given. We'll be giving to you next Sunday,
thank you.
because we want to help you and encourage you locally. That's what we can do in this group. Is that they're a beautiful community who give liberally, and so just tell us how we can, what your needs are, what the money will go towards.
Yeah, so we do ask people to pay for our counselling service, but sometimes there are many who can only pay £5 or £10 or £15 for sessions, and it costs a lot more than that to run each session of counselling. So the money that we get from your donation will go towards those who cannot really afford very much at all, and for whatever circumstance. And they're often the people who have been suffering with mental health difficulties for a long time, therefore are unable to work or unable to work more than part-time. They've just, so they're very much in need of counselling, and we offer long-term counselling. So it really can be a very transformative experience.
It's very special what you're doing, and what I love that you've answered the call to do it, and you've picked up your calling, as it were, and gone with it, and seen how God has grown that, and that's a great thing. And we absolutely want to encourage you in this. And I think, who was it who'd mentioned it to us first? Carol Evans. The Evans is who have been long-time friends, and they asked if we could highlight this. And I think it's exactly the Bijou type of charity that people can make a difference. Their money can make a difference to you. And it's been thrilling to have somebody local on. People in, remember Sussex, Surrey and Kent, you're going to find information that's going to be put up on the screen, and you can get this in the notice sheet at the end, and it will note on the notice board, and you can see information. But the name of the, just so that we know, the name of the group that you run is called?
Arise.
Arise. And so we got that twice now, Arise. And it's based in East Grinstead, but it serves that area. So if you are in that area and you really would like some counselling, contact these people. Remember that there's a tsunami of problems that are coming up post-pandemic. I think there was some horrifying statistic about the amount of people that were seeking counselling now, that of course the NHS cannot provide. There is months to wait if you are on that list. So if you want help, then phone. We try to provide help with people like CAP through the Richards, Fiona and Colin Richards, people like that, for people with financial troubles and everything else. This is something different. Let's just really encourage Leslie and Arise and the people there. We'll hear a bit more about the counselling a bit later on, and what Lynette and Mick think about that. Listen, it's been a pleasure having you on, Leslie. We've got to move on now. Thank you so much for coming. I think you've gone. I think you've gone already. Right. God bless you, and be good.
I'll get the staff.
Bye-bye.
I'm sorry, Lizzie.
Right, so Lizzie, you were cut off suddenly by Rachel. That's the manager. All right, so but I think we've got all the information that we require.
She's a bit trigger happy.
All right?
She's a bit trigger happy and excited.
She's a bit trigger happy. Okay, no, it's all right. We're done now. Thank you, Leslie. That was lovely.
Thank you. That was great.
I'm going to sing a song which is a little bit, which is more slightly appropriate. And if you're feeling a little bit kind of below par tonight, this song is a little bit for you. I've been listening to a lot of the Gaither, which is a Southern gospel group, and they are one of the biggest groups that have been singing for 40 years now, and they've changed their format. They're a close harmony group. And I've been listening to this one, and strangely, they've been my church a little bit while I've been during this lockdown. I've listened to their music and been blessed by them, and it's very spiritual. It's a very spiritual. It tells the story of the woman at the well, and it's called "There Is a River." And it flows from deep within. There is a fountain that frees the soul from sin. Come to this water Oh, there is a vast supply. There is a river that never shall run dry. There was a thirsty woman who was drawing from a well. You see, her life was ruined and wasted, and her soul was a bound for hell. Oh, but then she met the master, and she told him about her sin. He said, "Child, if you drink this water, you'll never thirst again. There is a river, and it flows from deep within. There is a fountain that frees the soul from sin. Oh, come to this water. There is a vast supply. There is a river that never shall run That's Rachel, who enjoyed that song.
Yes, Rachel got treated to the
Boys!
Vera evening with the Gaithers on TV, and she said, "No, you got to sing that one." So, Rachel, that was for you.
Would you? I know you're just relaxing. At least one of you's not in the loo. I thought we'd do Go Rest High. Yeah, let's do this one. Go Rest High, and here we go. We've got 10 minutes. We'll do two songs. Let's Go Rest High and All That Matters.
Can I dedicate this song to Jackie Lamb?
Sorry,
Jackie. Excuse me. I'm talking.
All right.
I'm talking.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Okay.
You done? Jackie Lamb, it was your birthday last weekend, and Owen would like to say happy birthday for last weekend, and this song is dedicated to you.
Here we go. We used to do this a lot on tour when the fair, just after we'd done the Nashville album, we went on tour with this song. Here we go. I know your life on earth was trouble, and only you could know the pain. You weren't afraid to face the devil. You were no stranger to so go rest high on that mountain Son, your work on earth is done. Go to heaven a-shouting love for the Father and the Son. Oh, how we cried the day you left us. We gathered round your grave to grieve. I wish I could see the angels' faces when they hear your sweet voice sing. So go rest high on that mountain. Son, your work on earth is done. Go to heaven a-shouting love for the Father and the Son. Great long solo now. The guy who played this played for Roy Orbison on the slide guitar. How we cried the day you left us. We gathered round your grave to grieve. Wish I could see the angel faces when they hear your sweet voice sing. So go rest high on that mountain. Son, your work on earth is done. Go to heaven a-shouting love for the Father and Son. Love for the Father and the Son. Play this also for lovely Jackie and Alan Slough, who lost their lovely boy so many years ago. Go rest high. A song written exactly for that. In the great sadness. Go rest high. Thank you, boys. That was terrific. That was absolutely fantastic.
For those of you who were asking, that is on the It Is Well album. That's where that one comes from, the one that Jonathan recorded in Nashville.
In Nashville. And some lovely, lovely songs on there, including It Is Well. I'll sing that for you after we've had the interview. I just want to do now a song that Matt and Nick came to the studio and did a wonderful session when we recorded Lockdown Sessions 1. We were live in the studio with these wonderful international musicians, and they came in and did the BVs. And so why don't we sing the version that we did of All That Matters, a great song that so many of you love, and written by Judy Mackenzie Dunn. And I recorded this album, I recorded the original album back in 2005, I think it was. And on the album All That Matters, and I did this on telly and all the rest of it. This is a popular song. Let's do this one, backing track, and then we're going to welcome Mick and Lynette, who are there standing by, ready to come on. We're considering going to wave at them now. And really great guests. You will not want to miss this couple either. This is a really some fantastic stuff that they're going to talk about. So stay tuned. Don't go away at all. Do not even be tempted by hunting for the midwife. Okay, she doesn't exist. All right. Search the midwife. Here it goes. Here's life in all its mystery, the beauty and the tragedy, the silence and the symphony, and everything between. And deep inside the heart of man, the need to know and understand. Are we a part of some great plan, or just a passing dream? Philosophers philosophize, but rarely look you in the eyes. And politics is compromise that rides the ebb and flow. And money talks and fashion screams to fill the space inside your dreams. If you want something to believe, I'll tell you what I know. And here it is. My maker is my savior, my creator is also my friend, and to find him and his favor is all that matters in the end. The spirit of the age decrees. We may not speak in certainties, but that's what Jesus is to me, the bedrock of my soul. A savior who can really save, a power stronger than the grave. The greatest gift I'll ever have, the deepest joy I know. Oh, sing it with me, boys. My maker is my savior, my creator is also my friend, and to find him and his favor is all that matters in the end. Oh, my maker, he's my savior, my creator is also my friend, and to find him and his favor is all that matters. It's all that matters. It's all that matters in the end. In the end. Play us out, Mark. Here we go. The high-class sounds of Mark Edwards and his band playing us out with All That Matters. And what great sounds from my boys I think you'll agree. Write in and with big hearts, please, thanking them for coming in tonight, because I asked them at the last moment and they dropped everything and came over.
Absolute
Nick
pleasure.
dropped his sick bowl and the loo roll. So that was good.
why
Well, I'm
did you
just
ruin
saying,
that
I'm just
song?
telling you the way it is.
Welcome to the show, everyone.
Well-
Such class.
Deliver that.
And I'll call you back in.
Thank you, my
Okay,
boy.
have a listen. Have a listen in. So, I think we have, standing by, 2 minutes late. I'm sorry about that, guys. But I'm not really known for my timekeeping, I have to say. But Mick and Lynette, you've changed positions. Are you doing this deliberately to confuse me? In the rehearsal, we were the other way around. I'm afraid I can't cope with this. I don't know.
I'm Mick and this is Lynette.
Yeah, okay. Well, at least we know where we are. Excellent. I'm going to just turn you down a little bit from my own speakers so we don't get feedback. Welcome to the show, both of you, and thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Thank
It's
you.
good to be here. So I have a question for you, Jonathan.
Go ahead.
What rock stars do we look like?
Well, if I'm going to be honest with you,
Yeah, well,
you
we've
know,
opened the door.
you know the 1960s.
Yes.
Right? What if you go back a bit from them, okay? Ray Cooney, yeah, Roy Orbison. Roy Orbison, you remind me of Roy Orbison's uncle, all right? I'm just saying. Now, Lynette, on the other hand, you, my darling, you remind me of a pop star from the 1990s.
Oh, I think she looks like Adele.
You do? Oh, Adele. There you are. You've got Adele. Yes. You're Roy Orbison's uncle, and you're Adele. So I shall call you that from now on.
His uncle. It'd be less confusing for people.
It would be because that's what we want. We want to be confusing. Listen, it's lovely to have you on, and we've known you for some years. We haven't been close friends over the time, but we're close friends with close friends of yours. So and it was suddenly I was talking about this to Sue, and often every week it's a themed week, and we have, we've had various people on talking about CAP and things like that, and then we'll have a talk last week as we did on space. We'll have a space guy come in and talk about lunar modules and things like that. And so, yeah, it was fascinating.
Modules.
Yeah, you could go loony modules. That's different. That's where you do a module in the degree on luniness. So that's that loony. There it comes from. So enough about this. I just wanted to kind of get your take, really, on because of your background. I don't know whether both of you were. Tell us your background, Mick, first of all.
Briefly speaking, I trained as a general nurse, and
Yes.
then I trained in mental health nursing, and I ran an academic unit for psychiatry at St George's for a little while, specialising in family therapy and eating disorders. And you waving at me, Jonathan?
No, I was just trying to get Sue over here because I'd like her to be involved in the interview. It's very difficult. Can she be involved in that? No, Sue, just right. Okay. I just like so you were there specialising in eating disorders and the like.
Yeah, and then well, I suppose that's the main thing for tonight, really. And then I then went on to do a little bit of theology and ended up working with CWR, which was a tremendous honour.
And you were up until recently CEO of CWR. That's correct,
That's
isn't
right.
it?
Yeah.
And Lynette, just your background, just briefly, please.
Yeah, briefly, I trained as a dancer and then
No, you see, I knew it. Adele, there it is.
I think Adele sings though.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, yeah, a singing dancer. Don't knock it, Mick. Give it a chance to breathe.
And then anyway,
go on.
I chucked all that in and went to train as a nurse and then did health visiting, then
Yes.
had my own family and gradually developed a massive interest in people helping and trained as a counsellor.
Yes.
And ran courses and publications and stuff at CWR as well. And more recently have moved to work with a very little charity who support people with their emotional and mental well-being. So that's what I do now.
And that is called, just tell us what that's about. Patrick Regan, I believe, is the name of the
founded
man.
it with his wife, Diane. I want you to pronounce it, actually.
Kintsugi.
Yay, you did it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm good at these things. I speak 8 languages. Do you mind? You know, but not Japanese.
Yeah, it's called Kintsugi Hope.
Brilliant. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Actually, there is a lovely couple within the JV community, Alan and Jackie Slough, who I believe have been very involved with Kintsugi.
Yeah, they have. I've met them. And in fact, they recorded their story. They wrote their story in one of Patrick's books. And when we were trying to do the audio version of the book, Alan and Jackie actually read their own story from the book, and we were all in tears.
Yes. Sorry? Yes. What people don't know what CWR is, so just it was called CWR. To tell us the name change.
It's recently changed its name to Waverley Abbey Trust. It was founded by Selwyn Hughes, who had a huge passion for helping people to become who they are in God, who they were designed to be. And in the pre-80s, it was founded as Crusade for World Revival.
Mm-hmm.
I think probably words like crusade probably aren't as popular anymore, so Waverley travelled with some justification. However, you were involved a lot in helping his publications to be spread abroad, and the Bible reading notes. Is that correct?
Yeah, I took responsibility for Everyday with Jesus.
Yes.
From 2006 when Selwyn passed away, and we've taken it forward right up to now. Until recently, it's now in the hands of Micah Jazz. But up till then, I've been working with Everyday with Jesus, and also I'm currently doing a few days consultancy for Waverley Abbey Trust on the international front.
Okay, that's brilliant. Now, it means, for me, your backgrounds mean that you have a particular, I suppose, a view on mental health and the way that mental health affects people. Lizzie was talking a little bit about it. I'd like to delve a little bit deeper with you. We've got quite a few minutes to talk about that. And Mick, in your first of all, could you talk a little bit about your background that led you to the point of wanting to be a mental health nurse? What did you see? What happened there?
I guess I'll keep it really brief. But having trained as a general nurse, I began to realise there was so much more to us than just our physicality. Our physicality was one aspect of us. And I staffed in an intensive care unit, and I got to talk with the relatives and work with relatives. So I realized there was just another layer to us. Then that's partly why I went on to mental health nursing. But even then I realized there was just another layer. Again, there was just a deeper layer. And that's when I studied theology for a while. So I kind of went full circle around things, realizing we are body, soul and spirit. We're an interconnected layer. We're very complex.
Yes, we are, aren't we? We're not just one thing. Lynette, I mean, would you like to add to that?
I just think Mick is a very complex character. I agree.
Oh, you've got one of those as well, have you, Lynette?
Oh, yeah. No, I think... Go on.
I mean, one of the things I just wanted to explore a little bit was you must have been looking at this past year with, first of all, you've had to survive it yourselves. What have you done to survive it? But then looked on and said, that's the first part of the question. And the second part is, you must have thought, my goodness, there's going to be an avalanche of need that's coming post coming out of lockdown.
Yeah, and I think so many articles you read would endorse that and give you the stats as well. But how have we survived it ourselves? I think fortunately having more than one room to live in means that we have been able to be in separate rooms occasionally when needed during lockdown. But I think, and it's been a big thing actually for the charity Kintsugi that we're with now, is that isolation doesn't have to mean that we feel socially disconnected. And whilst we've been isolated physically now on and off for 15 months, isn't it? Which has been really, really hard. What we've striven to do is find ways people that still can stay connected, because connection is so important for us to feel known and loved and understood. And if we're not connected to anybody else, that's pretty tough. So the stats, when Kintsugi Hope started, there was absolutely no cognizance whatsoever that this pandemic was about to come. And when it hit, all the training went online, the groups all went online, and it's just risen by hundreds of percent in terms of the people in need wanting to feel connected and to feel supported and to feel that they have a voice and can be known.
So Lynette, as you mentioned it, so just
Lynette, could you just explain for those people who don't know what kintsugi means? It's a nice word, but there's a reason why it's used.
Yes. Yeah, well, Patrick, who founded the charity, went through a season where his own mental health was quite challenged in terms of he had a physical issue where he's had to have massive surgery on both legs. But that led him to feel very isolated and disconnected and disempowered, actually, because 2 lots of 9 months in a massive frame, and all that meant. And he became very lonely, disempowered and depressed. And so he then began to heal, if you like, in his physicality. And that meant, what do I do now with my emotional well-being? And he and his wife began to think, we really want to support other people that may feel like this. And they learned that there was beauty to come from something that was broken. His legs had been broken intentionally to do this surgery. And so they came across the Japanese art of kintsugi, which essentially takes broken pottery and mends it with beautiful gold. And the message behind that is that the bowls then become more unique, more beautiful, and they don't hide the brokenness. They make a feature of it, and it becomes more unique and beautiful. And that's why he called the charity Kintsugi Hope.
That's really interesting, isn't it? I mean, you came across this because you're interested in all things Japanese, and she'd come across this before, and actually in your own work with people and unofficially counselling people and listening to people, and certainly over this last year, that whole idea has become richer. Mick, from your point of view, the need seems to be overwhelming, and within people's mental health, the area, often hope is the factor that's missing.
Yeah.
I mean, tell us a little bit about your experience in hospitals for people who've been effectively, I suppose, shut in, locked in, because you would have been in secure wards, I presume.
Yeah. Yes, I've done some of that work as well. The thing is, loneliness and being disconnected is probably the worst pain in the world, totally, because we were designed for connection. We were designed for relationship. And anything that disrupts that is incredibly painful. And so with COVID now and people being shut in and not being able to connect with people, the sense of loneliness and hopelessness is huge. What often people and counsellors, and hopefully you'll bear me up as a trained counsellor, one of the things that counsellors can do, and certainly we can do, is hold hope for people, because people often can't hold it. They're at a place they're in such a place where they can't, it slides away from them. They can't connect to it. And sometimes we can just come alongside people and hold it for them.
That's very interesting. Yeah, that's a totally good. It's certainly. I was saying to Leslie earlier that I've had 2 periods of.
You mean Lizzie?
Lizzie, sorry. Sorry, Brian May, as I called her. It's been No, she is. I'm sorry, but that
She's
is
got
Brian
beautiful
May.
hair.
You know,
She's got beautiful
It
hair.
have
is
you seen her
beautiful.
from a distance? It's maybe my eyes, but
Yes,
I'm
it is.
seeing Roy Orbison's uncle Adele and Brian May. It's strange.
It's
The
a good
guests are
guest
all-
list. It's a good guest list.
It's incredible. If only that was my
Anyway,
guest
you were
list.
about to say.
I was about to say, in both of my periods of difficulty, and as you know, because I'm having to, once I had this diagnosis, but it was a problem. But I'd lost myself in my profession in the opera business, and I had to come back from a job in Switzerland, and I was hugely depressed, as close as I would call it to a nervous breakdown, and had to be rescued effectively. And Sue said, I cannot cope with what you need to go for counselling. And hope was exactly what was missing. I remember talking to my agent saying, I just don't see any way out here. I am as lonely as I could possibly be, because I was just travelling for all the time. I was travelling away in foreign countries for most of my life, and I couldn't see a way out. And I think that what you talked about was exactly that, the isolation of loneliness. And I know for quite a lot of the people out in the community, and this is in the JV community now, the reason they've joined with us is exactly this, because they need community during this time. I don't think it's because they think I'm very attractive, although that could be one of the factors. But
They are a strange group of people.
it's
So.
true. But I think the hope. How do you offer hope? That's always a question that I don't mind who answers. You can answer between you. How do you offer hope as a Christian organisation, as an individual, as a counsellor? What's the process of that?
Wow, that's a big question. You can go first.
Some of it is through vulnerability, to firstly acknowledge that often you feel lonely or upset or vulnerable, and then people go, I feel like that too. And then you find you're not the odd one out, you're not the ugly duckling. And through honesty and vulnerability, people can then see that they're not alone. Other people have experienced this and they've come through. But what happens is we go through life with this presenting a very nice veneer, when underneath it, we're all slightly wrecked.
Yes.
And I think the first step to offering hope is for people to see that, to quote another singer, it's not unusual to feel.
To continue the theme.
Yeah. Would you like me to sing that song for you?
No.
Dun, dun, dun,
Oh,
dun,
no, it's
dun, 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 dun.
It's that whole Me Too. The whole Me Too movement came because
Yeah.
people were brave enough to model that vulnerability and to say it's okay to say you don't feel okay. But look at the story of this person who was, feeling exactly the same. And how did you get through that? And then you share that. And it's only when we can have that honesty with each other that journey can begin, really.
That's what's nice about the Kintsugi groups, is that they are peer-to-peer.
Yeah, they are.
They're not
professional experts running them. They are people who...
So there's a place, isn't there, for professional counselling?
Yes, there
but
is.
There's also a place for friends to listen and to just hold someone in their thoughts and just think with them and help them, and not jump in with I want to tell you all about my story, but actually just to listen to a person's journey.
Yeah.
And that seems to be what you're saying, that's part of how this can begin, is that we actually together, peer to peer, offer that listening.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
very powerful to just to be present and to listen to someone.
It's so funny. You just said this. I just remember the film Crocodile Dundee. Do you remember that moment in Crocodile Dundee? And it's a fairly unmemorable film, but there were moments in it that were quite as often poignant. Rachel here was talking to say we saw Doctor Who. I'm not a Doctor Who watcher. She's absolutely just
we're off.
mad about it. But he heard a speech. There was a speech given about war. About it. It was mentioned and it was played on Remembrance Sunday. So every now and again something comes out. And one of the things that was said of Crocodile Dundee, he was depressed. he was.
There was someone talking about,
someone's-
oh, that's my therapist, and that's his
My
therapist,
therapist
and her
and-
therapist. And he said, well, I don't
Don't you ha-
understand.
don't
What
you
about
have
therapists?
mates?
And she said, no, everyone goes to someone to talk. And he then said,
He said, "Don't you have mates?" And I suppose actually at the heart of it, friends, just honest friends, good friends, not acquaintances, but friends. Tell us about then kintsugi as an idea. We've had a rise, which is a professional counsellor. How does kintsugi fit into the picture of the counselling kind of model?
Okay, well, it would be pre that really. It can journey alongside that, but also it's so the main way that we offer safe and supportive spaces for people to talk honestly and to get that peer-to-peer support are through what we call wellbeing groups. And we offer training for people to become wellbeing group leaders. Often the people presenting for training have been through a group themselves and feel that they want to then support and help others. But we reiterate, they're not run by professionals. They are trained by professionals, but not run by professionals. And essentially they're for people who feel lonely, who feel overwhelmed, who would like to understand their emotions a little bit more, understand how they can increase their well-being and grow. So it is peer facilitated mentoring style led really. And we provide tools for people to self-manage, I guess, their emotions and their mental health. So we're in no way the fix-all. We're never there to fix, we're there to love and support. And we are also there to signpost people if it turns out during being part of the group that more professional help would be helpful. So one of the big outcomes is that people are signposted to appropriate help if they need it. But also another outcome is that they feel no shame or embarrassment from talking about how they really feel. And that they have an increase in their self-worth and confidence, I guess, and their overall well-being. So it's a 12-week series that's run, and we look at things like honesty, telling our own story, and the amazing things that come out just when 6 people in a room tell their life story. And it'll be like, I would never have guessed that about you. You know, I would have no idea you had that struggle.
You've had people that have been in the same church for years.
Yeah, and never heard that story. And then we look at disappointment and loss,
Anxiety,
and vulnerability and resilience. Yeah, anxiety, depression, self-esteem. All of those topics. There's a topic a week.
so these run in churches. So if someone's interested, does their church have to get involved, or can they just find a group somewhere?
Well, our dream is that we have enough group leaders trained that someone can come onto a website and find a group near them. One of the benefits, and there's not many, of the pandemic has been that all the groups have gone online. So geographical distance no longer is a prohibitive factor. But Sue, most of the people that train are connected to a church, but then they go and run the groups everywhere.
Yeah.
They're running in schools, universities, so we have a youth and student stream. They're running them in homeless shelters. They're running them with organisations that work with survivors of domestic abuse. They're running them, we've got a prison pilot going. As soon as prisons are back open, we're going to be running them back in prisons. So yeah, no, they are being run for mums at the school gate who have no connection with church whatsoever.
Are you working through other organisations? So, for example, do you work through Prison Fellowship, or do you work literally directly to the prison?
We are partnering with Prison Fellowship on the prison pilot. We work with Restored, who are piloting the course for women and survivors of domestic abuse. We're very well connected to CAP, all sorts of people, and food banks, all people who are engaging with their communities. That's what we're also partnering with them to try and do.
We are absolutely, as a community here, and I've been driving for the year to try and make sure that social action is one of the things that we do. We've been raising a lot of money through charities. We run our own charity here called You've Got a Friend Trust, that the community has supported and given money to, and it puts its arm around people. But that also, it works with now people like CAP and other Christian organisations and non-Christian organisations. I mean, I think quite clearly this is where we don't want to be, and I think I was just trying to find out from Leslie, although Leslie runs out of a church, Lizzie runs out of a church, it's not, and I think this is, I want to really explain this to the viewers, this is not just for Christians.
Not at all.
Christians are involved. Just tell people. I think we need a bit of, real kind of, if gold is coming out of this, we want really a lot more we want engagement from real people in real communities,
Absolutely.
Not just the church.
Yeah, no, people have run them in their little street. They will say to their neighbours, oh, we're doing this thing where we're just helping each other out to understand our well-being a bit more, because there's not going to be a vaccine against mental health. And actually, everybody is only too aware that whilst physically we're going to hopefully recover from this, we need support with our mental and emotional health.
Yeah.
And what better place than maybe in someone's living room or on a Zoom screen to actually talk honestly about where we're at and get the support and hope and help from somebody else. And that matters whether you are of any faith or no faith. You are welcome to a group. Welcome.
That's what we want to hear on it. Definitely on here. Mick, go on.
I was going to say, well, there's the other group, isn't there, in Surrey that has been running for the men.
Yeah, just run groups for men.
And if I could just be a generalist for a minute, men are just awful at admitting or facing up to the fact that they're not quite sure they feel well physically or emotionally. And these groups have gone really well. The fellas have all gone like, oh, wow, I'm so glad I could talk to you about this. So, it's different groups. There's the homeless people as well, which is a fantastic story. Gone into the shelter.
It is very true. When I stood up at Spring Harvest and said, I remember it very clearly in the big top, and I said, I've been depressed. And there was this moment, and I got about 15% of them came and lay hands on me immediately. And the other 85% of them came up and said, thank goodness you said that. But men, one after the other, hundreds of men that I spoke to that weekend. And admitting to it. I just spoke to Adrian Plass, and we just this afternoon, and he's going to come on and to be part of the show, and he's very upfront about this. He's very much about the truth and men speaking the truth, and it's not something that we do.
No.
But can I just ask Mick, this what do you see as the repercussions of this last year on general health of people, and how it's going to kick down through the avalanche of care needs and counselling, not just kintsugi?
It's going to be huge, and if you put it simply, whenever there's a crisis, people have this adrenaline rush. So there's this rush of adrenaline, and people cope with it, and they get busy and they do things, and then as time goes on, the adrenaline falls out, and all that extra energy just falls through the floor. So I think there will be, you used the word tsunami earlier, of not just emotional health needs, but also physical needs. People are burning out in the NHS and various people that have worked all the way through. I think people are going to be literally worn out, physically and emotionally, because the adrenaline will have gone. There'll be unemployment. I don't want to sound like a harbinger of doom, but there will be unemployment. There'll be economic issues, and people are really going to need help. They're going to need that hand on their shoulder, that support to keep them up, because I think people are going to be exhausted.
I would love you. We've been chatting. I really could talk about this for a long time. But I just would like you to say a little bit to the people out there those people who are, that are you weak and heavy laden, cumbered with a load of care. And so many of us are, actually. I mean, I'll be honest, I am. This year has got me quite apart from having to do dialysis 3 times a week, which is an ache beyond. The fear of dying, of course, and with all that brings, and the fear of putting through that. There's so many people actually who've gone through such a lot. What can you say to people out there? Because people want to hear a message of hope and encouragement. And I mean, although what you're saying is right, harbinger of doom, you're speaking facts. But I like that, because you're Roy Orbison's uncle. He was terrible for that. He was, he was always a harbinger of doom. Whereas Adele was always much more positive, as we all know. And exactly.
She's in carpool next week.
She's on tour, isn't she?
Yeah.
Just give us, both of you, first of all, Mick, some hope, and secondly, I think, Lynette, I just want you just that gold idea of making things better, and how people can practically get help, and how they can contact your organisation. Mick, you first, if you don't mind.
I think, we're people of faith. I studied theology, and I think I've come to a place, although I've learned to live with ambiguity, I've come to a place of understanding that we are spirit, soul, and body, and each affects the other. But as someone of faith, I can say to you, to your viewers, that they are not alone. They are known, not just as a statistic. One of the things that's important to me when you see these numbers and on a screen, and it's like every number has a name. God knows your name. He knows you. You are not alone, and you're loved. Absolute. That's an immovable fact. And if you just have a short prayer, when Selwyn was really sick and his son had died suddenly, his only prayer he could say was the name Jesus. And that's the only prayer he could pray for months. And God met him in that. God was able to understand the nature of that prayer, but all he could say was Jesus. And that was enough to see him through.
Thank you for that. That's very special. Lynette.
Yeah, and I will come, I back that up totally, but sometimes we need love with skin on, and sometimes we need the physical presence of another person to actually say, yeah, I see you too, I know you. So what I would say is none of us can do this alone, absolutely, but so reach out, tell somebody that you don't feel quite yourself right now, if that's where you're at, or say, I feel great, how are you doing today? None of us can guess what someone else is really feeling or thinking. So ask or tell, and whether it's your neighbor, whether it's someone in a local church, whether it's someone online, whether it's a friend that you haven't seen for a long time, reach out to someone, tell them how you're feeling, and see then where that goes, because none of us can do this alone. And if you want to join a wellbeing group, go to our website, make contact with someone in our team, and we will do our utmost to get you into a group where you hopefully will feel safe and supported, and also know that there are other people there who want to connect as well.
And just can I just finally add, just building on the Kintsugi and the goal, things becoming better. Very often, when life is difficult, we pick up scars and we hide our scars. But what we must remember is a scar is a place of healing. So I would say, don't be ashamed of your scars. Be proud of your scars, because they are a physical sign of a place of healing for you.
That's a really lovely way, both of you, to finish.
Thank you so much. It's just been perfect. And I know that a lot of what you have said, and Lizzie as well, will resonate with people within the community, that, people are probably ticking and nodding and
They're
just
writing
saying,
in as we
this
speak
is
now.
me, this is where I am. So, you know, let's continue this within our community. Let's keep talking. Let's keep listening to each other and supporting each other and just doing what we can, because actually we're all feeling much the same, and we could all do with a bit of help from each other.
We could. And so what I'd like to do at some point, Lynette, is have Patrick on here to talk about his own journey, and people would be we've heard him, we know of him, we did a conference with him, and it was very, very moving, and I think actually it's a great story. Both of you have been Roy Orbison's uncle and Adele.
You've been exemplary
You've been
guests.
exemplary guests, and we thank you for coming in and being part of it. And I'm glad I could get in before I had the operation, and I wouldn't be. I'll be off for a few weeks. So, but apart from that, we hope I will come out of the operation alive. That's it. That'll be interesting too.
So do we. It's been good for our mental health to see you and your boys and your family.
It was lovely. It's
fun.
been lovely, wasn't it, to get them in? They're going to come in and sing in a minute again.
Our daughter and son-in-law are quite good friends with your boys. So.
Oh, of course, you're in Emmaus, aren't you?
They live up the road, don't they?
You're
from,
all at
from
Emmaus
one of
together.
them. Yes, yeah.
A bit further up the hill.
Yes, the posh bit, yeah.
The posh bit, yeah. We're not in the posh bit, okay. Anyway, bless you guys. We're going to go on,
Thank you.
and
Thanks.
it's
you
lovely
for
to have
coming.
you.
Thank
And
you.
we'll have all your information up
On the notice
on the
board.
notice board.
Thank you.
And I hope we can give some money to you too through that. I hope there's a Just Giving page or something, and just blessing the work that you're trying to do. Thank you so much. And have a lovely rest of the evening.
Bye.
You
Bye.
too.
And this song is I'm going to sing, and then could you get the boys back in, please, for what was the song I wanted to do with them? It is You've Got a Friend. So you get them back in for that. I'm going to do a song. I always say in concerts, when I used to do things called concerts, I don't know if you remember those. I remember we were going to, before the 9th of June, we were planning a concert in June. Well, of course, that's gone by the board. But instead, with my slim Jim, I hope you like my slim attire. Just go on. Are you going to click it over? Here we go.
No, we can't.
Oh, you can.
I can't do the.
You can't do the.
Yes, I can't do the
All right,
thingy.
here we go. Look.
Look, there's hardly anything of him left. The surgeon was so impressed. So impressed.
From this way. Okay. Right. Sideways view.
Look at that.
She said there's hardly any liposuction I'm going to have to do.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. I could have that.
So we
done,
have it
couldn't
done
I?
while I'm doing. Well, we have a couple of stone cut off. Anyway, here it is. This song is for...
I would like to dedicate this for a few people. I know that Nikki Sharp and Diane Harrison mentioned it and wanted it, but I would like also to dedicate it to Linda Marshall's sister, who had surgery for breast cancer this week. And so, Nina, we're thinking of you, and we want you to know that it is well.
I was saying, and when I do the concerts, I always say, it may not be well with my mind, but it is well with my soul. And peace like a river tendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. My sweet in, oh, the bliss of this glorious thought. My sin not in part, but the whole is nailed to the cross, and I bear it no more. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord, oh my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul. Lord, haste the day when my faith shall be sight. The clouds be rolled back as a strong. The trumpet shall sound, and the Lord shall descend. Even so, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul. And peace like a river, when peace like a river. Excellent, and peace like a river. And I hope we have a bit of peace this week. Boys, can we have you back in? I'm going to do this one because and I would like to welcome back into the studio right now,
All the way to the front.
all the way from the toilet.
Oh, hang on. Is Matt playing guitar for this?
He is. I'm going to do a very long introduction. You got the words?
Oh, no.
Sue, have you got the words?
No, because I gave them to Nick.
No, they were on the desk.
No, I gave them to music.
Oh. You've got a friend?
No, probably not.
You got a friend, I don't think so.
I'll just keep playing this till you find the sheet.
going.
It's
Oh, yeah,
nothing.
I've
Okay, you got it. That's good news.
When I've got it.
Here we go. The group song, the whole community song, and actually a little bit of what they were saying tonight about talking to each other,
Don't sing the beginning, call out my name, just sing the harmonies.
finding a friend, and the group that has been just so supportive over the time. Do you mind? I'm trying to do an introduction, Mitch.
You're trying to learn the song.
You
Trying to learn the song,
so
sorry.
sick of his voice by now, though, everyone.
Because they did the album, but they're just learning the song now. Here we go. Here we go. When you're down and trouble, and you need some love and care, nothing is going right. Think your eyes and think of me. Soon I will. He's got my words.
He has a go at me for not knowing the word.
To brighten
Lighten
up.
up. Thank you. Even your darkest night. I know it now. Just, you know. You just call out my name. And you know wherever I am,
Oh yeah.
I'll come running.
Running.
To see you again.
Yeah.
Winter, spring, summer, or fall. All you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend.
If the sky above you grows dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind begins to blow, keep your head together now and call my name out loud.
Sing it, preach it, brother.
And soon you'll hear me knocking at your door.
Not bad for a man who had salmonella. There we go. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running,
Running.
to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall. All you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. Now, ain't it good to know that you've got a friend when people can be so cold? They'll hurt you, be flat, and desert you. They might have. Take your soul if you let them, but don't you let them. Let's sing it together now, in harmony. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running, to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall. All you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend. Oh, darling, you've got a friend. Oh, darling, together now. You've got a friend. 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 Great stuff. Well done.
Thanks
and I
so
hope you're
much for-
all joining. Don't disappear because you're gonna.
No, I was
Oh,
going to say I was going
right.
to do the old 5 minute
all right.
part of my part of the show.
Okay, 5 minute part. Go on.
just
We're going to
wanna-
do a long show tonight, by the way. We're going to be finished about
Yeah,
15
so this is my
minutes
5
past.
minute period.
Okay.
Anybody who wants to see this more regularly, write in the comments. Just maybe lots of thumbs up.
Matthew, don't disappear. You might.
Matt's getting ready for his 6 minute. No, I just thank you. Thank you for being a great community. Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that all you want to say? I thought I was preparing for something else, please.
No, I'm just getting started. I'm just warming it up. I'm just
Okay.
You don't go.
Because I think you guys you start, don't you? Next weekend, you start entertaining.
We actually have a gig
We do.
on Saturday and Sunday, yeah.
Close to the mic, because we weren't here.
Oh, so,
So that you've got a gig. Where have you got a gig next week?
wedding in Ashford on Saturday, and then a wedding in somewhere near in between Leeds and Hull or something like.
You're joking, really?
Sunday,
Long way away. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness! Right up her part of the world, kind of.
A long way
It's
away.
a long way away. Are you looking forward to it, Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slightly terrifying in the fact that I haven't played the drums in a year and a half. But apart from that, I'll be fine.
Actually, and it is true, isn't it? People out there, for both of you, Matthew picked up the guitar,
Matt.
and sorry to bore you.
Soon as Dad
tired.
starts telling a story. Right, I better.
Do you know what? In the gigs,
right now.
in the gigs, what they would normally do is that it was always banter. While I was doing something serious, they would be behind us.
Stupid, so we'd laugh at you.
We laugh, always doing something stupid. But this
Dad,
whole
you would
thing,
never do something stupid. Don't be ridiculous.
this whole thing about not being able to do something, having not done it for a long time. It's really a lot of people feel this. They're feeling. I just felt. That I don't think I could be funny anymore, Nick.
No comment. No comment on that. When you start being funny, let me know. All right? Because
your degree was paid for my funniness.
I remember not being funny. Being funny. Where was I famously not funny, guys?
I mean,
Well,
how
there was
long
that
have you got?
time. There was that time at
Where did we start?
Do you remember up at
Spring
Harvest? That went
Big
down
audience.
like a lead
That
balloon.
went well, didn't it?
Yeah. That was
What
funny for us.
What was really funny about that was that how much time have you got? Okay,
Go on.
I'll do it
Tell
really
us
quick. I'll
quick.
give you the cut down version. Dad said something about being near the seaside. And he goes, and if you can't make it, make sure you go and get some chips. And there was just silence. No one laughed, and he went, but because we're near the sea, chips. But in the Bible, it actually says, and so basically if it doesn't work,
The default
take
position
it to
is
the Bible.
take it to the Bible. Exactly.
God will get you out of that.
And that was true. And it was 1,500 people who literally were silent. I think it's the north
Much
of
like
England.
most gigs.
The cold. Hey! Yeah, exactly. You live in the cold, don't you, Rachel? That's it. They haven't got time to laugh. I'm going to sing a song now, and this is going to be for Sylvia Newman, who's Sally's mother-in-law. She's been very ill. She's had treatment for quite a serious illness for a long time, and it was her birthday yesterday. So we're going to sing a song for her, and it's Misty from the new album, and then we'll call you back in for the last couple ones.
Okay. Thank you.
Enjoy.
Oh. 1, 2, 3. Look at me. I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree, and I feel like I'm clinging to a cloud. I can't understand. What happened? Okay, we can get this. Keep going. Walk my way, and 1,000 violins begin to play, or it might be the sound of your head, that music I hear. I get misty whenever you're near. Don't you know that you're leading me on? But it's just what I want you to do. Can't you see but I'm hopelessly lost. That's why I'm following you. On my own. And I wander through this wonderland alone, never knowing my right foot from my left, my hand from my glove. I'm too misty, too much in love. I'm a bank castle. Don't you know that you're leading me on? But it's just what I want you to do. Can't you see that I'm hopelessly lost? That's why I'm following you. When I wander through this wonderland alone, never knowing my right foot from my left, my hand from my glove. I'm too misty and too much in love. I'm too misty. I'm too misty. I'm too misty and too much in love. Beautiful sound of Mark Evans on piano, Arnie Sauvagy on double bass, and Darren E. Beckett on drums, with the wonderful saxophone of the legendary Ben Castle. And that was for lovely Sylvia Newman, who's been in contact with me, and all this time having terrible troubles of her own, but just writing to me so thrilled that there's a date. I mean, I love that about people and that lack of selfishness. So, we're singing. We're gonna finish tonight because it's a special night. Because this is the last time I can have anybody in. So it's all going to be next week. It's going to be me on my own, and then the following week is going to be the legend that is Graham Kendrick on Zoom with us. We won't be able to play any of his music. I don't think we'll play anything.
You mean any of his recordings?
Any of his recordings. I'll be able to do some of his songs. I'll do a special GK evening, and I'll do all the songs that I helped arrange all those years ago, and Shine Jesus Shine, that kind of thing, and From Heaven You Came, and the ones that I've recorded, Thorns in the Straw, things like that. We'll do a special GK evening, and then you can go and listen on YouTube to his own songs. And I should be, if we'll get Matthew back in here in a second to talk about the Christmas album for a second. Matt.
You said you looked at me and said I could speak.
I was going to say, oh yes, okay, you speak now.
What would you like me to speak about? Oh, well.
Do the notices
okay.
now, if you don't mind.
Actually, I'm not going to do my sort of usual trip through the notices, if that's okay. Just other than to say, any CDs or books, please go onto the website, www.jonathanvera.com.
It is well. Remember that
It is
one?
well, yes, the
The
album
album
that
with-
we've sung a lot from. If you want more of the boys singing, then they're on the Live in London CD, which you also get the DVD with that, which is good value. I just want to just take 2 minutes, if that's okay, to just say thank you to those of you who have been so supportive and so kind and have been praying for us and thinking about us and caring about us with this whole process of leading up to the transplant. For those of you who haven't been on top of it or known what's going on, Jonathan has stage 5 chronic kidney disease. He needs another kidney if he's going to have a normal life away from dialysis. And fortunately, I am a perfect match for my husband. And so we are very, very grateful for that. The surgeons are so delighted that he's now much healthier and lost so much weight that they've given us the okay for surgery on the June the 9th. So June the 9th, we will be going in and they will remove Lucy, my left kidney, and they'll be putting it into Jonathan.
So I'll speak with a high voice when I come out.
He will end up with 1 good kidney and 2 duff kidneys, and I end up with 1 kidney, which doesn't sound very fair to me, but I'm okay with that.
No, but I'll buy you a bunch of flowers.
I am so grateful to people for all their concern and all their love and the many, many, many offers of kindness and help and so on. I just want to sort of broaden it slightly and say that as a community, we talked right at the very beginning, and you've always been incredibly good at this, about sharing the love. So a friend and I sort of kicked this around a bit, and I've been thinking about it ever since. Jennifer, that actually it would be wonderful if as a community you could also carry on caring for, thinking about and praying for the other people having transplants around now, because there is a small window when they're going to try and get as many done as they can before they fear they're going to be shut down again because of COVID. And then also Jonathan has got to know people, lovely people like David and other people within the dialysis unit. And I know
David
that,
Clift.
yes, I know that you find it hard, don't you? That actually, you know, hopefully in 2 weeks' time, you're going to have another kidney and you're not going to be going back to that dialysis unit again. But for many people, that is their weekly, tri-weekly reality. And it would be good if as a community, we could be caring about them as well. And we don't just focus on Jonathan and I, but actually we perhaps, I don't know, when you are praying, you broaden it out a bit.
And think of people, I give names, people like David Clift, people like Mandy, who is due to have one, people like Lindsay, and people like Simon. And Simon, if you're out there looking at this, and I hope you have been viewing tonight, you're a good man. We had a good chat, and we hope we've managed to help a little bit in a practical way as well. But for people like him, actually, who need care and attention, life has been difficult, and kidney disease destroys lives. I mean, I'm sitting with people for whom life is terribly difficult, week in, week out, since December the 8th. And I've seen a part of life that I would not have had the privilege of seeing. And I've been able to help people like Brian, who I take home, and Lindsay, who I take home as well. But Lindsay needs a kidney, and she's got various complications, and it's hard, and life is difficult. She's got young children. And so it affects people. There's a guy called Faris who is part of the band Five Star, and he's in there, and he needs he's young, he's just 52, and he's got this, and it's taken him completely by surprise, as it has all of us. And then suddenly, those of us who had control have no control, and we're told what to do, how to do it, if we're to survive. And that's what we do, and we have to just go with.
And that's a very, we've been talking about mental health, and that's a very difficult path for people from a mental health perspective. They may be going in to make their bodies keep well, but actually very often they go down a mental path. But anyway, I don't want to carry on talking about that anymore because time is moving on. People are getting tired, but thank you is what I wanted to say.
We thank you. Thank you for the support.
Thank you for your support. It means a huge amount to us, and please carry on because we are going
do.
to need it. We are shielding us from Wednesday, and if you could think of my mum, that would be helpful because that's an area that I'm a bit concerned about.
And it would be wonderful during this time when we are not working. It's going to be financially very challenging, of course, because we've got no income apart from the generosity that you've shown. So during this time, it doesn't need huge amounts, just needs little. It needs a lot of people giving a little amount.
And for
that's
that,
all.
we are so grateful
we're
every
great.
time.
Without
I
it, we couldn't have
apologise if
survived.
I haven't got around to thanking you recently, but I do try to go through the list.
But thank you and bless you to all you who've shown generosity during this time. And I suspect I'll be out for a few weeks. They said I can drive again within 2 to 4 weeks. Well, frankly, if I can drive to within 2 to 4 weeks, I can sit at a piano and a camera. So I'm going to be coming back as soon as I can, keeping you appraised with the morphine button.
But we have plans.
Yes, we do.
Rachel and I have plans.
Oh, do you? Oh, right, okay. Yes, we do. We're going to try and keep you keep together during this time. Don't just dissipate. Use the group, the Facebook
Keep supporting
group,
one another. Use some of the principles that Mick and Lynette and Lizzie have been talking about.
The Lord's my shepherd, I'll not want. He makes me lie in pastures green. He leads me by the still waters. His goodness restores my soul, and I will trust in you alone, and I will trust in you alone, for your endless mercy follows me, your goodness will lead me home. And though I walk the darkest path, I will not fear evil one, for you are with me, and your rod and staff are the comfort I need to know, and I will trust in you alone. Yes, I will trust in you alone, for your endless mercy follows me, your goodness will lead me home. Sing it with us. And I will trust in you alone. Yes, I will trust in you alone. And for your endless mercy follows me, your goodness will lead me home.
And Sue Pardy, that was for you. You found us when we came to your church in Alderholt Chapel many
remember
years
it
ago.
so
It was
well.
a wonderful place to go.
We went a couple of times, actually.
Yeah, we did. And
my
we
son
took the
Daniel.
boys once. And so we are delighted to have you in the community. We're delighted to sing that for you and
Now,
for everyone else.
There are a few that we haven't managed to get in, but not many.
Maybe we'll swing them over
We'll
till
swing
next
them over
week.
to next week. Now, we'll be here. It should have been with Mark Edwards next week, but I'm not allowed to have him in the studio. Now, we could have broken the rules, but I don't want to. I think actually that it's 2 weeks of
2 weeks of shielding before the surgery.
Let's just keep it simple before they cut into me with a sharp knife. I hope it's sharp anyway. I don't want it. You know that moment I say, I'd cut your heart out with a spoon. Why, cousin? Because it would hurt more. That's the line from Robin Sherwood. Right. So Matt and Nick, thank you for coming in. I'm sorry
you so
that
much,
Dan
guys.
couldn't be in, and he sent his apologies and said he was drying his hair. So Dan, if you're out there, we understand perfectly. Now we're just going to sing a couple of songs before we go that we always sing, and the boys are going to join in. Have they got the words for the Lord bless you and keep you?
Yes, I gave it to them. No, you didn't. I did in the pack of songs. He's got them down here on the floor.
Right, pick them up, Nick, and come and join in. And so sadly, it's just going to be me. I'll get a nice guest in. I haven't worked out who yet. Well, to do a nice interview. Go peaceful in gentleness to the violence of these days. You freely showed tenderness in all your ways.
Through darkness in troubled times, let holiness be your aim. Seek wisdom, let faithfulness burn like a flame.
God speed you,
God lead you, and keep you wrapped around his heart. May you
be known by love. Sing into the mics, guys.
Be righteous, speak truthfully in a world of greed and lies. See kindness, see everyone through heaven's eyes.
God holds you and folds you and keep you wrapped around his heart. May you be known by love. God holds you and folds you and keep you wrapped around his heart. May you be known by love. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you and be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you and be gracious to you and be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace and give you his peace. Been lovely having the boys and lovely Rachel here with us tonight. It's been a lovely little party celebration. We hope you stuck with us. Lovely having Mick and Lizzie. We've got all the information there. You want to contribute, give generously. And we will see you next week, same time, same channel, for an evening with
Thank you for
JB
joining
live
us,
from the Steinway
everyone.
Room. God bless you
Have a
and good
week.
night.
Bye.
God bless.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bless.
Buy an album.